Okay, Algebra 1, 4-3, point slope form. Yesterday we talked about the slope intercept form, which was y equals mx plus b. Okay, so that was slope intercept. Today we're going to talk about a completely different one, but will be, I shouldn't say completely different, it's going to be similar but different. So let's take a look at point slope. The point slope formula is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Okay, we are familiar with the m, that is going to be our slope. And then what we're going to do is we're going to substitute in for y1 a point, and we're going to substitute into x1 a point. But we will leave the regular y and the regular x alone. So let's say I have a coordinate of 2, -4, and I have a slope of 1/2. So let's go ahead and use this formula. My y stays the same, so I just leave it y minus, what is the y value of my point? Well, in that case, it's a -4 equals, now I substitute my slope in there for m, that's 1/2, parentheses, keep the x the same, and then I subtract my x value, which is 2. Now, notice we have a minus minus on the left-hand side, so that's going to change that to plus. Then we go ahead and just leave this 1/2 x, or 1/2 times x minus 2. That is point slope form. Now, what if they ask you to take that point slope form and they want you to write it in standard form? Remember that standard form is ax plus by equals c. So what I need to do is get all my x's and y's on the left-hand side. Well, first, I have to go ahead and do this distributive property. So that's going to be y plus 4 equals 1/2 x, and then what is half times -2? 2 goes into -2, -1 times, so that's going to be a -1. So if I want to get those together, there's a couple of different ways I can do that. My x is already over here, so I'm going to bring over my y by subtracting it. And I'm going to save a step here because my x and y's are on the right-hand side. I'm going to bring that -1 over by adding it. So that gives me 5 equals 1/2 x minus y. Again, I can't combine those because they are not like terms. Okay. So now what if I have that y plus 4 equals 1/2 x minus 1? And they ask me to put it in slope intercept form. Remember that slope intercept, we want to get the y by itself. Okay, so if I want to get the y by itself, all I have to do in this case is move that 4. So I'm going to subtract 4 to both sides. And in slope intercept form, that's going to be y equals 1/2 x. -1 minus 4 is -5. Okay, so that's the form I would use if they asked me to graph it. I would put it in slope intercept form, and I would go ahead and make the graph of that. So let's make that graph. Y equals 1/2 x minus 5. So that's got a y-intercept of negative 5, and it's got a slope of 1 over 2. So my y-intercept is negative 5 right down here, and my slope is up 1 over 2. Up 1 over 2. So that's my nice line. Okay, so there's my line. Again, you won't have to graph all of them. There's just a select number that you need to do that. But most of them will just be rewriting them into other forms. Okay, so what I want to do now is I want to give you an example to work on your own. And I'm going to give you a point and a slope, and I'm going to ask you to do 3 things. Okay, so I'm going to say a point of 4, negative 2, and a slope of negative 4. So I want 3 things. Number 1, I want it in point slope form. Number 2, I would like it in standard form. And then number 3, I would like it in slope intercept form. Okay, so I'll go ahead and pause for a little bit and let you do that. Again, 3 different answers: point slope form, standard form, and slope intercept form. Okay, so again, the point 4, negative 2, and a slope of negative 4. Okay, so point slope form is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And this is the first problem. Point slope form. Sub in what we know. Y stays the same. y1 is a negative 2, so I'm subtracting a negative 2. The slope is negative 4. My x is just x. And then I'm subtracting 4. Go ahead and change that minus a minus. That's y plus 2 equals, keep this in the same form, negative 4 parentheses x minus 4. That is point slope form. Okay, second, I asked you to change it into standard form. So I'm going to go ahead and do the distributive property. That's going to give me negative 4x plus 16. Standard form says x and y on the same side. So I'm going to take my y to where my x is by subtracting it. And because x and y are both on the right-hand side, I want to move this 16 by subtracting it. So that gives me 2 minus 16, which is negative 14. And negative 4x minus y are not like terms, so I cannot combine them. Now I'm going to change the order here. Just flip it around. That way it's in perfect ax plus by equals c form. Now, number 3 is put it in y equals mx plus b form. So I'm going to, let me bring this down here. Oh. In this case, I'm going to add 4x to both sides. That gives me, don't forget, there's a negative attached there. Negative y equals 4x minus 14. Because I want to know what positive y is, this is where we multiply both sides by negative 1. That gives me y equals negative 4x plus 14. So 3 problems off of 1 point and 1 slope. Okay, about 11 minutes, and that's it. Chapter 4, Section 3, point slope form.